Hello, Paulina.
Hi, Zilko. Thank you very much for giving us some spare time of your webinar. Hello, everyone. We're going to discuss the UK retail sales month-on-month data, which will be out in about 10 minutes, and me and my colleague Max are going to discuss it here for you. So at the current moment, the forecast stands at 0.4%, whereas the prior figures sit at 0.2% respectively. And if we will continue discussing the expectations and the previous number overall, we look for the lower growth in retail sales in Q3 since Q4 2013, which would be another sign that overall growth slowed in the third quarter. That said, we are still fundamentally positive about the outlook for private consumption due to increasing employment, positive real wage growth, rising house prices, and low interest rates. That is a quote by research team at Danske Bank, who expect that UK retail sales for September to rebound after disappointing in both July and August. So, if we will move on a little bit further, here you can see the economist's view on the matter and the numbers that they expect from different financial institutions and banks and firms. So, according to their view, we have the Bloomberg survey summary where the median estimate stands at 0.4%, average estimate stands at 0.39%, high estimate stands at 1%, and low estimate stands at 0.1% respectively, whereas the number of estimates this time has reached 22. So, if we will discuss a little bit UK retail sales in particular. The retail sales report for August was a bit mixed since the headline rating came in as expected out 0.2, which is good since it's an improvement over the previous reading, even though the previous number was downgraded for 0.1 to flat 0. The year-on-year reading, meanwhile, was a disappointment since it came at 3.7%, which is lower than the expected 3.8, and the previous readings 4.1. So for this time, the general consensus amongst Forex traders and market analysts is that headline reading will be posting an improvement. The annualized reading, meanwhile, is also expected to advance by around 4.8. I'm not sorry. That does not bring that much confidence that we'll be seeing a lot of improvement. Though the GfK Consumer Sentiment Survey for September dropped to 3 points. 7 was the previous one, which is still in optimistic territory, but just barely. Most indices saw some slight decreases, with the major purchase index dropping by 3 points to 14. The savings index, meanwhile, actually saw a single point increase to 3. So it seems that Britons are spending less and saving more for this month of September. And the retail price index for September also grew at a much slower rate, 0.8% actual versus 1 expected and 1.1 previous, which could mean lower levels of demand, although it's also possible that companies were passing it on the lower cost to consumer, courtesy of the strong pound, making imports relatively cheap. And since I have only 1 minute to go, I would love to quickly show you guys the community member sentiment. As you can see, the traders went rather bullish this time. 58.51%, and bearish votes were in minority this time. However, you can still see a couple of comments. I hope that you can read fast because I'm not going to be able to read them for you. And it's about time I will give the floor to Max. We're going to cover the technicals. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Paulina. Hello, everybody. I hope you have a really great Thursday. So yes, we have the UK retail sales data today, and we have actually pretty much positive expectation for the month of September. 0.4 percent growth is expected, and also actually some major banks around the world, for instance, BNP Paribas, Citibank, and Danske Bank, they expect even a 0.5% increase in the in the headline retail sales for Britain in September. That's why we are going to have the positive surprise trading strategy today and the cable for discussion. Because actually this currency pair has a pretty much a bullish sentiment at the moment on the market. More than 56% of all open trades are bullish right now. And if we have a look at the pound in all its crosses, we see that its sentiment is even more bullish at the moment. So more than 59% of all open positions in all the pound's crosses are positive right now. At the same time, nonetheless, if we have a look at the pending orders, they are quite bearish at the moment, as you can see as well, while the market sentiment provided by other market participants is, I would say, mixed right now. So if we have a look at the market situation at the moment, we see that the pair has actually just spiked in the last minute of trading to trade around 1.5477 level, and is continuing actually to increase in value. So some surprising moves already before we have actually the numbers. I think we have still some 3 minutes to go. So explaining more about explaining the trading strategy a bit more. So if we have a look at the previous actually market reactions for the cable, the average reaction for this particular data release stood at 33 pips, excuse me, which is a pretty decent market reaction, actually mentioning that this data release is quite important for the UK as a whole, because the retail trade takes up a big share of the UK economy at all. Actually, before this, these surprising move to the upside, we have had the first profit level at just 1.5470, so some 12 to 15 pips to the upside from that price. But I think now we can adjust it slightly upside, possibly to the third resistance line already, 1.5490, and possibly to the 1.55, in case we really have positive numbers from UK. At the same time, we cannot look at the possibility that the data will disappoint us, and for this purpose, we actually have the first stop loss level around 2.5440 level, which is some 35 pips below the current price, but it would be fair to adjust it slightly to the upside as well, possibly to the area above 1.5450 level. So I guess I just have 1 minute left before we are going to have the data, the numbers on the both headline and the core retail sales in the chat section. I will shortly mention the technical indicators, which actually support the positive sentiment among the market participants. They are also pointing to the upside on both 10 minutes and 25 seconds, if I'm correct, until the data is going to be published in the chat section. So just let's wait for the numbers to come through, and we will see if there's a really positive or indeed negative surprise. Nobody knows before the data is really coming in. So just 5 seconds to go. Hopefully we will see some market reaction, initial market reaction on the data. We have really huge spike in the value of the cable. Let's just wait for the numbers. In the chat section, actually the pair searched above 1.55, and because we really have a big surprise on the data, so they rose by 1.9 incredible percent percentage points. I guess nobody expected such high increase in the retail sales. And on the core basis as well, they rose by 1.7%. It's, I guess, some 5 times above the average expectation among Bloomberg survey participants. So it's really incredible numbers from Britain. But at the same time, the prior data was revised a bit downwards on the basis to -0.4%, and on the core basis as well to -0.7%. So maybe from that point of view, there is no surprise that the data for September showed such a good number, but still it outpaces the negative revision for the month of August, and indeed we have the positive reaction from the cable. I guess in just one last minute, the average reaction was some 32 pips to the upside, which actually almost matches perfectly the average reaction for the past 5 months. So I guess that for now that will be all from my side on the technical part for this data release. Thank you very much for your attention. See you soon when we are going to have the research recommendation.
Thank you, Max. Thank you, everyone who joined, and thank you for your comments. Yeah, it seems that the research came out, and you'll see right on Max's screen. However, me still occupying you and so continue with us here for and in case if you have other questions or comments, do not hesitate to post them into the chat section. We will have another data release today in about maybe 4 or so hours. It's going to come from Canada, also retail sales, and I think you will be able to see some other members of the Dukascopy Research Team, definitely. And it's only 1 day till Friday, so enjoy this time, and new energy, you're very welcome back with your webinar. Thank you, and see you later.
Thank you.